waited till the sun started going down because it's been so stinking hot out here. But I got in a special package today, and let's go through a little background information, right? I rented a shop over where Jennifer is, and there's no compressor over there. I have to worry about sound. Can't be too noisy over there, so I've been doing all my painting over here at the house. I have two compressors here, a smaller one here in the back and then one big one in the front. I didn't really want to move either one of those over to the shop because I wouldn't get to use them that often. And I use them, you know, over here quite a bit. So I started redoing a lot of research on different ways to paint automotive finishes, and I came up with the Turbine system. And I thought that seemed really interesting. I researched 3 or 4 different ones, and I came up with Fuji was, I think, the best choice for me. They've got like a grade 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I don't know how many. This is a 5. It's supposed to do car painting relatively well, but I've never used one, so I've never even opened the box yet. So I'm going to open it, and we're going to see what's in the box. This unit was right at $1,500 is how much this one costs. And I was able to find not that many videos on painting cars with it, but I did find quite a bit on painting like cabinets and things like that. But this is supposed to be a really good unit. So, all right. So this is your whip hose that goes to the gun, and it's the smaller diameter. And this is the thicker hose here that connects up to the whip hose to do the painting. This is a Q5 Platinum sprayer. They make a Q4, they make a Mini, a 3. I believe it's just dependent on how many turbine layers there are or something like that. I don't even know. Oh, okay, so comes with a nice little cleaning kit, spray gun cleaning kit. Nice, 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 nice. Wet film thickness gauge. Never used one of those before. Oh, filter. I believe this is going to be the spray gun. Oh. And it comes with a cleaning thing and a wrench. Now this is a gravity feed spray gun. Looks real nice. I'm going to adapt it to a PPS system like I have. I'll be able to use my same liners and everything. But these are a pressure feed. You can see that there's a line that goes from the gun up to here, and it allows pressure to go into the cup to push the paint out. This being HVLP, it's a lot lower pressure than like a standard gun. Now this is a 1.3 nozzle, and I had read that 1.3 is way too big for like car paint and clear. So I've got a 1.0 nozzle and needle in the house that I'll swap out for this, but it actually looks really nice. On the gun you have a spray width adjustment and you have a material adjustment, and I believe on the machine itself, on the Q5 Platinum, you actually can alter that. Some of them you just turn it on and that's all you get. So, and then it comes with a viscosity cup. Probably not going to use that. So let's go ahead and take out the business end of this. Please keep it away 15 feet from spraying. It's a good tip. Let me get it out of the box here. These are 120 volt. Like I said, I've never used one of these. Alright. No clue. I have no idea what that is. Very cool. This one, compared to some of the smaller ones, this is your output knob, and you can vary, you can dial in your output, where some of them are just on and off, and you get what you get. So that's pretty cool. I'm going to fire it up here real quick and just kind of see how loud it is, because I've never actually heard one in person. So it'll be interesting. That's full on right there. And some of the whistling from the air. But let me tell you, that's really pretty dang quiet, to tell you the truth. It's pretty stinking quiet. I'm going to get this hooked up and I'll just do a little test. I got the whip hose on it. Super cool. Alright, so that's all there is to that. Looks really, really cool. No compressor needed. And one of the reasons that I got this is because I want to set up the huge paint booth. The big inflatable paint booth that I have that fills up the driveway, I believe I can set up over at the shop and actually be able to paint the Jeep over there rather than driving it over here, and actually do some painting at the shop rather than everything over at the house, because no compressors needed. There's a lot less overspray with this type of system, like almost no overspray. So this is really a nice looking setup. Hopefully it'll spray well. I'm going to shoot the outside of the door, the fender, part of the fender. Oh, and I've got a cowl piece over here that I'm going to spray with this just to get the feel for it and see how well I like it. But change the needle out, get my PPS system put on it. But I believe this is going to be a real winner, and it is really quiet. Much quieter than a compressor would be to do that kind of painting. So we're going to see what kind of paint this can lay down. But everything that I've heard and read about, this is a very nice system. So I'm going to get this stuff prepped. Next part of the video will be me actually using this thing. Alright, I got it all wet sanded down. The door is prepped, ready for paint. I'm just going to let it dry overnight, tape it up, and then we're going to crank up the old Turbine Fuji and see how it works. Alright, I got it just set up here in the back of the truck for right now for the test spray. It's hot, but it's not as hot as it was yesterday. So I'm going to try to paint this door without setting up the paint booth. I'm just going to spray it out in the wide open. But the first thing I have to do is switch out the air nozzle. And this is a 1.0 air nozzle. The smallest they make is 8mm, so I kind of just decided on a 1mm would be good. And this is a 1.3 that's in it, so it's a little bit smaller. And I've read that that's one of the better sizes for painting base clear. There's a lot of similarities between this and a regular gun, so I kind of know my way around a little bit. Sweet. And got my spring, and I'm going to have to look for the cap for this somewhere. I tell you what, it's a little bit hot out here. I got everything, found the cap. The only thing I don't like about the gun so far, truthfully, is this cup. And I'm going to fix that. These are just a huge pain to clean out. That's why I have the 3M PPS cups. But because this gun is, I guess, such low pressure, the PPS cups don't work without a pressure hose attached to the cup, the plastic piece, right? And they're about 80 bucks a piece. So I ordered a couple different sizes, and then I can use my liners same way as before, and an adapter for this gun. But right now I don't have it. So I'm going to go ahead and load it up with some paint, and then we'll do some test shots with it, and then see if indeed this thing will work. I have no idea, truthfully. I've seen some people on the internet paint some cars with it, and some were good results and some were really not so good results, kind of amateurish. So I guess the only way to find out if my $1,500 was worth it is to take it and shoot some paint. So I'm going to get this mixed up, and then I'll meet you out by the door. Alright, I got it cranked up and I got it on the lowest setting for right now. Ooh, nice. So I thought that there wouldn't be any air coming out if you pulled the trigger, but that's not true. You do have an adjustment here. This is your width adjustment. Well, that's pretty nice. I like it. Alright, well, I'm going to go ahead, tack cloth this off, and we'll spray a little bit of paint on it and see how it does. I will say one thing. I mean, it is incredibly quiet. It's sitting over there by the truck, and I mean, it's way quieter than the compressor would be running in there. So that's one positive. I'm going to try to hit the bottom side of the edge where I have it taped off first, and then I'll move up to the top. But I think this thing's going to work great. We'll see. Keep from sweating in the paint. Granted, my fan is down, but I mean, it comes out of there pretty dang good. So I'm just trying to hit the spots that didn't have any paint on it, and then we'll do an overall, widen the fan out. But man, it's nice. I tell you, it's smooth. My biggest problem is to keep from sweating in the paint. I've got some 85, 90 degree reducer in it, so that should help. Woo! Lord have mercy. It's warm. Feels nice though. Dang. Try to get on the edges really well. You don't want your edges to not have paint on them. I forgot to hit record on the camera, so that was awesome. Let me tell you, this can put some material down. Holy crap. It laid this base down like nobody's business. Unfortunately, when I first started, it splatted. I hit the trigger just real lightly and it splattered paint across here, which isn't that big a deal with the base, but I can see that it is screwed up the finish. So I'm going to let this dry really well. I'll wet sand that down. Look at that bug right there. Okay. Looks really good as far as like the amount of material on there. I'm just going to let it dry up real well, wet sand it down, and then we'll be shooting it again, and I'll record that. I probably should not have this fan on until it flashes out, because it's picking up all kinds of crap from that fan. But it looks great. There is a lot of paint on this. The base coat is great, but right in here you can see where it kind of, see if you can see it in the camera, it kind of splattered across, and then I went ahead and just base coated it. So once that dries out, no problem, I'll wet sand it down, put one more coat on it. I will record that, and then we'll be clear coating it. But I'll tell you one thing, I think I'm probably going to buy a .08 nozzle, because this thing just, it comes out of there. Very little overspray. Smooth, man. I'm going to let this dry, and I'm going to put one more final coat on it. I just hit all the spots where I had to sand it out. Looks really good. Let this flash for about 15-20 minutes, and I'll be ready to do my final base coat. Randy's here!
Hey!
Tell him what you did today.
I just did my civic duty and voted.
And
they were lacking in candidates of good quality for the Franklin School Board, so I wrote you in.
Well, I don't know.
And I'm going to put that on Facebook to write David Sutton in.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
I'd
Should I say it's your last name?
I'd say get it. Yeah, everybody knows it.
Oh,
I was like,
don't know that. Okay.
I don't think so, Randy Gardner. What? Oh, sorry. All right, let's get caught up. Dang.
Yeah.
Getting really aggravated with this stupid camera. It keeps cutting off after I hit record, so I don't know. Maybe I didn't hit record well. I've got one spot I need to fix right in here. I got one spot that's janked up right here, so I just need to let that dry. Hit it with a little bit of 400 grit sandpaper dry, and then just hit it a couple of times, and that'll be fine. Everything else looks absolutely awesome as far as the base coat. So basically just letting it dry up for now. So I've been screwing around with this thing. If this check valve goes bad, you can't spray any fluid. It's got to have pressure coming in to the cup. It doesn't just flow in. So I had ordered extras just for the heck of it. Now it works. So I put a new check valve on it. The other one's locked up. I have no idea why, but I'll figure that out later. Let me get some clear on this baby. Looks pretty good. I'm going to leave it alone here for a few minutes. It'll sand out and buff nicely. Got some orange peel in it. I think I need to up the pressure a little bit on the clear coat, but that is some really super thick clear, so should have plenty to buff out when I'm ready to buff it out. There should be plenty of clear on there to lay into it pretty good, so to lay down into it pretty good. So I'm going to let this dry, get a skin over it, deflate the thing, and go on from there. I think it'll be fine. Alright, so I'm super happy with the turbine system. One thing I did find out is if the check valve goes out, you're not spraying anything because it can't move the material. It's got to have pressure in that cup to push the material through, which was kind of trippy, really. I kept going, man, it's not getting anything out, and ended up being a check valve, and I had ordered some extra ones just on a whim, truthfully. So that was great that I did that. As far as like spraying the clear, I think I need to up my pressure just a little bit. I'm trying to get used to spraying with it. It's a lot lower pressure than a compressor than I'm used to. As far as like not having a pressure adjustment, it kind of takes a little bit getting used to. The clear laid in there very nicely, actually. So let that dry, buff it, let's get done. Let's get the rest of this truck painted and get it on the road. Okay, so it's time to put a fork in this video. The overall question would be, can you get an automotive quality finish painting a car with the Fuji turbine system? Absolutely, yes. I think it was just as good as using a spray gun, conventional spray gun. So yeah, overall, absolutely. The positives of the Fuji spray gun, I'd say, are you don't have to have a compressor, that the air supply is very uniform. It doesn't alter very much at all. I mean, you don't have that up and down pressures and having to adjust that, so that's a good thing. Because of the heating of the air as it goes through the turbine, you have very little problems with moisture. It doesn't have a chance for it to condense down, and you don't get a lot of water coming out of the sprayer. It's lightweight, it's easy to transport. If you were doing something in the back of a van and you had a big enough inverter, you could actually go mobile with this thing. So those are all the positives. Does it have any negatives? Well, yeah, I'd say $1,500. If you've got a compressor and a spray gun, let's say for instance I've got a shop here at my house and I can pull a car in, I wouldn't necessarily need this system because I've got a compressor and a spray gun, and then that would do fine for me. However, if you don't have a compressor and a spray gun, then it would be okay to purchase, but it's still $1,500, so you have to kind of weigh the price on it. The other negatives is the gun is very difficult to clean compared to a conventional spray gun. Conventional spray gun, you can run some lacquer thinner through it, shake it around a little bit, and be pretty much ready to shoot the clear or whatever else you're going to do. With this gun, what I've noticed is you actually have to disassemble it completely, clean every part, get all the paint out of it, and then put it back together, which, you know, it's not a bad thing that you have to clean the gun, but it is kind of a pain in the butt. You know, in between your base coat and your clear, you've got to clean it, then you got to disassemble it again and clear it. You can't just spray lacquer thinner through it and it'll be clean. I think that's because of the lower pressures that it operates on. Very little, back to the positives, it has very little overspray, that's for sure. So I'm glad that I've got it. I'm going to be taking it over to the shop. I'm going to be painting the rest of the Jeep with it, the tub and everything. So to summarize, $1,500 is not that much for a high quality painting system that comes with a gun. However, if you've got a setup now, I'm not sure that it's so much better than a conventional compressor and spray gun to warrant the $1,500. I don't know, but it did come out really, really nice. It was easy to lay down. It has a wide spray pattern, so I actually do like the system. You can paint cars with it. It will cost you $1,500, and you got to clean the crap out of the gun every time you use it. That's it. So that's the end of the video for the spray gun. We'll be seeing it again in the next video. It's awesome. Appreciate you being a subscriber. Appreciate you watching. Any question, comments, post them below. I am the owner of a platinum spray system from Fuji, and I couldn't be happier. Keep watching. This Jeep is going to get painted. I'm David from the Redneck Garage. Keep turning red.